International efforts to bring about a ceasefire in Gaza have failed thus far. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry has returned to Washington after the latest attempt in a sign of growing frustration and new tensions with Jerusalem. CCTV's Jessica Stone has more for us now from the White House.
And Susan, earlier this afternoon, Deputy National Security Advisor Tony Blinken pushed back against some of the recent Israeli criticism, saying that the Israelis essentially have no better friend than the United States. But still, there is intense frustration behind the scenes that we are nowhere close to getting back to that 2012 ceasefire between Hamas and Israel. Just hours after this attack on a Gaza park, Israel's prime minister said Israelis should be ready for a long campaign against Hamas in the Gaza Strip.
I said and I repeat, we must be prepared for a protracted campaign.
The fighting has continued after top American diplomat John Kerry spent 5 days in 3 cities trying to negotiate a ceasefire. Even another 24-hour truce appeared elusive. Kerry was left Monday to suggest a strategy of negotiating incremental ceasefires.
We believe the momentum generated by a humanitarian ceasefire is the best way to be able to begin to negotiate and find out if you can put in place a sustainable ceasefire, one that addresses all of the concerns.
But tensions between Washington and Jerusalem have boiled over on the pages of Israeli newspapers, criticizing Kerry for trying to bring Qatar and Turkey into ceasefire negotiations, nations Israel sees as supporting Hamas. The U.S. blames the Israelis for leaking a draft ceasefire agreement and criticizing it. The White House said Monday it was a working document that mirrored an Egyptian ceasefire agreement Israel had previously agreed to. Meantime, over the weekend, Hamas dug in, asking Israel to lift the siege of Gaza as a precondition to further talks.
This is not a prerequisite. Life is not a prerequisite. Life is a right for our people in Palestine.
And that was Jessica Stone reporting at the White House.